All right, I'm going to do an update on gold. I'm pretty sure we've started the declining phase of the intermediate cycle. I warned people that this was coming. These straight up parabolic moves typically just go straight down, and I explained why. You get a lot of late buyers that are coming in here, the fear of missing out, and they're chasing this move. And so there's just a lot of stops along the way here as these chasers um, buy into this parabolic move, and we had a lot of stops below 2,000. So that's why we got this big crash today. Was once gold um, dropped below 2,000, all of those stops started to trigger, and that unleashed this waterfall decline. We've got another major support zone here at 1923. That's the all-time high back in 2011. If we open below that in the morning, you're going to have a whole bunch more stops that are going to trigger, and you could just get a repeat of what happened today. I said in one of my previous videos, I thought we would probably just retrace all of this parabolic move during the move down into the daily cycle low. I don't think it's going to be a straight down line, just one down day after another. We'll get a an up day or two along the way here. We'll get some bounces. We may even bounce tomorrow. Um, but I don't think this is not going to be over in one day. It's not going to be over in 2 days. Um, like I said, if the 1923 gives way, then we're going to 1800. 1800 is another major support zone. I do suspect that will hold. We'll probably get our daily cycle low right around that 1800 level, somewhere in there, and then get a convincing bounce. And as I said, most people will view that bounce as the bottom, and they'll buy too early, and then almost all intermediate cycle lows unfold in at least 3 waves. So the bounce would be the B wave, and then we would have a left translated daily cycle. They typically run 30 to 45, 50 days. So, the intermediate decline is not going to be over until late in September, maybe even, as I said in my last video, maybe even out here into October. But as I was expecting the decline into this daily cycle low, I was expecting this to be a waterfall event just because of this setup here. The next daily cycle, I think, is going to be more of a grind. A lot of back and forth here as people try to pick the bottom, and then the longs that have gotten caught use the rallies to exit their losing positions, and ultimately, I think we're going to come back down to 1750, or in the weekend report, I noted that the 62% retracement was somewhere down here around 1650, which is not out of the question before this is over. And we need to really create some bearish sentiment to kick off the bubble phase in gold. And I've explained that in my previous video too. Almost always these bubble phases have a very scary correction that makes everyone doubt their assumptions, and then gets everybody on the wrong side of the boat, and then that's when the price takes off, because the fundamentals haven't changed. We just got too extreme. The sentiment got too extreme, and we got stretched too far above the long-term moving average. So that was the recipe for a severe profit-taking event. All of these traders that chased the move here, they're all going to get stopped out. That's going to exacerbate the selling. And then ultimately, I don't think we're going to hold the support zone at 1800 either. And then you're just going to get more selling, and then probably a bloodbath phase at the very tail end of the intermediate cycle, and that will set up the final bottom. But I'm going to just caution. We're going to get intraday bounces. So during the day, people that are glued to their computer all day, we're going to get these intraday bounces, and they'll look convincing. during the day. But the problem is that you've got all of these longs that have gotten trapped, and there's going to be more of them that are going to wake up in the morning. And if gold is below 1923 in the morning, then you're going to have just a ton more stops that are going to trigger first thing at the open. And so you're just going to have a lot of longs. So these bounces, as people try to pick a bottom and produce these intraday bounces, the trapped longs are going to use those to sell and get out of their position. So I would be very wary about trusting intraday bounces until we probably get down to a support zone. And we're not at any kind of a support zone here yet. The next major support zone is going to come right in here at about 1800. That's where I kind of suspect we're going to get our daily cycle bottom, and then get our first bounce before rolling over and continuing down. So again, I'll say it again. You don't need to be in a big hurry to buy here. We've got at least a month and a half, maybe into October before this is going to be finished. We've got to generate some extreme bearish sentiment before we can lift off and start the bubble phase of this bull market. So we're just getting started right now. There's no need to try and pick a bottom yet. This was probably a first recognition day. Breaking 1923 is going to be an undeniable recognition day where pretty much all the longs are going to realize that they've gotten caught and they're in trouble, and they're going to have to get out. And then the final one will be that 1800. When that one breaks, then at that point we'll really start to generate some extreme bearish sentiment. So let me expand the chart and I'll show you that. So before I do that, I'll show you the weekly chart here. You can see we've got a weekly swing high in process. Intermediate cycle lows have to turn the 10-week moving average back down. So you can see we haven't even broken below that yet. We're not oversold on the RSI yet. So we've got a long ways to go yet before this is done. Now let me expand this chart. All right, so you can see the support zones here. When we broke through 2000, this convinced all the gold bulls that that we were going to the moon, and then so breaking back below that just triggered a lot of stops. That's what caused this waterfall today. This evening we're breaking back below this bull market high here, so that's going to trigger a bunch more stops. We've got this triple top support right here at 1800. We are almost certainly going to go below that as well, and then like I said, that will unleash the selling panic. That should completely clear out the bullish sentiment, generate the fuel, and then jumpstart the slingshot that will start the bubble phase in gold. But again, we're at least 6, maybe 8 weeks away before that's going to be ready. So no need to try and jump the gun early. The weekly charts need to get oversold. We certainly need to push the 5-day or the 5-week RSI to oversold. And also we're probably going to push the weekly stochastics to oversold. So let me put that on here. All right, so you can see we're just this week we're starting to we've got a cross here on the weekly stochastics. So I doubt this is going to bottom before the weekly stochastics get all the way down here and get oversold, similar to some of these other intermediate cycle lows. So no rush to be buying metals at the moment. We need to finish this cleansing process, and that will set the stage for the bubble phase to begin.